Hi, Matt.
Hello, Bailey.
We're doing a show again.
Yep. We ran through a little test, and everything seems to be working okay.
Are we synced up? Is our audio synced up?
Uh,
Are we going to get a bunch of emails from super fucking helpful people?
yeah, mine's now even better, actually, so I'm glad we read it. Mine's like 1/100th of a second delayed. Let me see. Yours looks pretty good. Talk.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yours is great.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And now, everybody at home, I have the ability to switch to show you what we've been watching. So, there you go. We were watching some Bigfoot footage. That's what the opening was.
Big footage, as I say.
Big footage.
Can we talk about the plural of Bigfoot? It's Bigfoots, and I feel like it should be Big Feet.
Let me think about that. Well, big feet is, that's cool. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, look at all the big feet. Bigfoots. It just seems stupid.
They say it's Bigfoots?
Yeah.
No, it's like deers.
You say deer.
Yeah, I would say look at all the there's so many Bigfoot over there.
Oh, you would just say Bigfoot as a singular plural.
Well, big feet I could do too. That's cute, but I think technically it should be Bigfoot.
Okay.
So I disagree with everybody, as per usual.
As per usual.
All right, shut up. No, actually, I'll keep it going because we haven't started the show yet. So that's it. Yeah. So I'm just learning this OBS software again, courtesy of Derek Gott 007.
Thank you.
The technician extraordinaire. And this stuff is good. If you're trying to run your own little TV show, get it. It's OBS. It stands for something broadcast, open broadcast software.
What's the thing in the middle of the screen that's blocking me? What is that called?
That is the paranormal theme.
Oh.
Actually, now shut off.
It's gone. Okay. Well, great.
And that'll allow me to bring up some of this stuff right here.
Yep. Oh, I sent you a link, by the way, to a cryptid creature known as the Rake, which anybody who's been on Creepypasta probably knows.
Oh, let me see.
That.
Oh, Creepypasta. Is that a real website or fake?
Creepy. I think it's like a section of Reddit or something. I'm such a mom when it comes to stuff, but they just post creepy stuff. And but the Rake is an established thing outside of Creepypasta. The Rake is something I've heard a lot of people talk about. It's this big creature that some people have described as being giant with rake-like hands, but then other people say it's just this weird hairless dog cryptid human who's in people's bedrooms at nighttime.
So this guy over here.
Yeah, that creepy thing right there in that image. But then also, yeah, spooky time, right?
Wow. So even if that's fake, that's really cool.
That is really cool. It's some people call it the real golem. But then you go to the bottom, there's a video of an old woman talking about it, and she sounds a little bit rehearsed, so it was a little bit, but it's still interesting. I mean, it can be rehearsed and still be her story. She just wanted to sound good on camera. But this older woman at the bottom.
Is the older woman this shoe and the leaves, or the really old lady?
It's the really old lady.
Okay. Let's see. We're just going right into it today, fellas.
Yeah, we are. Well, what else are we going to do?
I don't know.
Bullshit?
Talk about Tom Cruise and Donald Trump.
No, thank you.
Why does it keep reloading?
Because it's dumb. Because people make it spoopy. Can it go full screen? Is that up? No. If you don't want to risk it.
Tried to walk like a man. But it wasn't a man. I don't know what it was. It wore a mask, I think, because it knew if we saw its face. You could tell it wasn't a man. He could talk, but it wasn't right. It was like the way a dog makes a noise. It was high-pitched, squeaky, like when a scared dog barks. I can't remember it now. It was a long time ago. He knew the names of my mother and my father. He said that he knew what they dreamed, and that they knew he was called the Rake. The Rake told me that I would miss him, and I asked him why. It said that I would find out in a long, long time. I don't remember how the Rake left. I think about it now, but it's more like a dream. But I know it was real. I know that he was real. And I know that I will see him again.
Spoopy.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. By the way, love her accent. I mean, you heard the accent?
Yeah, she's very Boston, I think.
Is it Boston? I didn't know what it was.
I heard the dog bark.
Yeah, what is
It's
it?
definitely Northeast.
I don't know where, but in Grey Gardens, the two crazy ladies that were related to Jackie O.
Yeah.
That-
I think it's Martha's Vineyard or something.
Because they have that accent, and she's like, me and Mother Darling had a terrible fight. We were arguing about which skirt to wear, and she was saying like skirt instead of skirt. It was like the coolest thing ever. Anyway, but
Yeah, it's a really rich white people. Like the Kennedys had it.
right, Mayor Quimby has it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, it's a great accent. But no, okay. So that's really scary. And
So wait,
and-
hold up. This is good, actually. I'm realizing because you have lots of information, and I'm sort of like a layman.
Mhm.
So I imagine there's people that have the same questions I do. So what is the rake? Is just a new guy, a new cryptozoological dude.
But it's not new. That's the thing. If you scroll down,
I mean, new to
well,
people that haven't heard about it.
I mean, maybe a lot of people haven't heard about it, but people who know cryptozoology know the rake. And
Okay.
if you scroll down, there's accounts like in suicide notes from like the 1600s, I think, where they reference that they were seeing this thing at nighttime, and it's just another one of those kind of cryptid, interdimensional beings that are in people's bedrooms.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me get a picture. I want to see it again. So yeah, I don't want to read all that. Tell me what we know about this thing.
Well, okay, so there's been accounts that they talked about it on a TV show once, one of those paranormal shows that you see on Destination America, where a young girl was, she referred to it as the rake, but its description seems so different than any other description I've heard of the rake, so I don't necessarily associate the two. But she said this like long being was like, she saw it on the grounds of a boarding school that she was sent to. And it had like long fingers and was really creepy. And then she never wanted to see it again, but then ended up seeing it in her room. And her roommate actually saw her being thrashed by this being.
Yeah.
And so,
By new, I just mean everybody knows the Chupacabra, everybody knows Mothman, everybody knows Beetlejuice, everybody knows Candyman. You can name a bunch. The rake, I've just never heard, so I assume there's a bunch of dopes out there like me who haven't heard of the rake. And why is it called the rake?
I don't know. I mean, the one description that said it had rake-like claws, I'm like, oh, that's why. But then most of these actually look like that. And if you look up the Dover, I want to say the Dover Demon is the name, which is in Massachusetts. That lady had had a Massachusetts accent. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The Dover Demon is in Massachusetts, and that's been described. If you look at the illustrations of that, it looks much more similar to that picture. That's more like a Gollum-esque being. See, even the same images come up. The
Yeah.
Dover Demon. So I would associate that with being the Dover Demon more than like the rake. But
That's kind of cute.
it is kind of cute. I mean, people are gonna do like chibi deviant art of it. But yeah, it's this weird thing.
Like the Jersey Devil's another one,
The Jersey Devil's a popular one.
So this is just in the vein of one of those type of things, right?
I guess so. Because I mean, I even think it's in the vein of Bigfoot, because people try to justify Bigfoot as like, oh, it's like a, I don't know, an old version of a monkey that survived. Like, you know what I mean? Like they think there's like some sort of classification for it in a traditional biological sense. I think all these creatures are kind of the same thing in a way.
Do you know if this text is correct or just random somebody threw it
I
out
don't know.
there?
What's it say?
At 1:44 a.m. on November 30, 2010, a deer hunter captured this photograph in Louisiana. Could it be a Dover demon?
I don't know. I don't know if that's.
Okay.
I honestly don't know if that's correct, but I've seen that before. Looks like a burnt marshmallow man. But there's been a lot of things like that. I was just looking up kind of popular creepypasta stuff. I also did some research on the Owlman,
Okay.
which ended up being really interesting. The Owlman is kind of England's answer to the Mothman. We talked about it briefly on the last episode, but almost everybody that had the reported sightings of the Owlman,
This would be it, I assume, because of the red eyes.
that's the thing. It has red eyes, just like the Mothman, which is really interesting. The only thing that's different is they say it has claws. Some people even said almost like crab claws. And almost everyone that reported it was a teenage girl. which was very strange.
The Owl Man is teenage girls.
The Owl Man. And the other thing is that the church, the specific church, which the name escapes me off the top of my head, but the specific church where this thing has been seen a lot, the Owl Man, is actually on ley lines. It's actually, and ley lines are the theory that like all the kind of substantial structures from history that are all kind of built on, they're all kind of on the same latitude or whatever. This church is on a ley line. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. It could be a portal or something. I have no idea. I just find it very interesting. But
yeah, ley lines are interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
What are they again? Who discovered?
Well, is what I was saying, that the basically like a lot of the structures that are really big in the human history are on ley lines, like Stonehenge and stuff. They're all on the same latitude.
I got that, but like the actual, take away the structure part, the ley line, like who discovered them? What are they?
I think it's longitude and latitude, which already exists, and then certain structures happen to fall in the same latitude.
Okay.
Like a strange number of them, but I mean, I couldn't describe it any better than that. I'm not super educated on ley lines. It's not something I know a lot about. I've just heard people reference ley lines regularly.
They are in the newer sense spiritual. Oh, our video feed's dead.
How? Yeah, my thing's off.
Let's see. If I go to... I can't pause the show anymore, folks, because then everything gets on Scooby-Dooed.
Maybe it's paranormal.
Right?
Maybe something spooky's happening.
No.
What?
All right, OBS software is now failing. So that's terrible. I hate my life. What if I just do a fuck a you, and then I go a fuck a you, I get rid of you guys, and then I add a video capture device. And I'll call it Bailey.
That's me.
And I will choose Logitech camera.
Show business, folks. Am I right? Thank you.
Logitech camera 2. Nope, that didn't work.
Oh my god. There's a ghost in the computer.
Add video capture device. Video capture device. Poop.
Well, that's just great.
Whoa.
What the hell?
Is that new?
People don't know what we're doing, so it's not gonna.
Oh wow.
It's kind of relaxing. You can just go to sleep. If you're driving a car, just take a nap. Just kidding.
What if I make a do?
So unplug it.
Make sure I unplug the right thing.
Is it? Okay, a thing came up.
No, don't use.
This is gonna be like a found footage horror movie. Or like when it finally comes back, we're both dead. What?
Wow. Everything's giving us a problem.
The show's falling apart at the seams. Because we're looking for the truth.
That is kind of weird.
Oh wait, but no, when you click on stuff, they can still see.
Well, yeah, they can see the... Oh, now it's like loading. Now there's an error on that too. Well, at least there's something they can watch. Let's think.
You just stream videos from my porn site.
Is Is it still recording? Or the show's still recording audio?
Okay.
We got stars. We got the Star Treks.
And we could theoretically go to a music break if you think about it. Just a thought.
Okay. No, we can't, because then YouTube won't put it up.
Okay, give up. Okay.
Okay, there's FaceTime camera. That works for some reason.
You're just trying to be the star of the
Okay,
show.
here we go.
Hey, we're back. Oh wait, but that's just me.
No, I know, but I gotta do me next.
Do me.
And then video. Okay, I'm so glad that worked, because I was like, I didn't want to redo the show.
No, that would have been so gay.
And then I don't
Not
know
that being gay is bad.
Which camera are you? Wait, why is that? Oh, that should be fine.
Okay.
No.
We did it. We're doing it. Okay.
All right, let me make sure this looks okay. So we're still recording.
Okay.
The video.
Things are still happening.
All right, I think it should work.
We're professional as fuck.
All right, you guys just got to watch me fix a problem live.
Ooh, behind the scenes, you guys. That's how movies are made. Okay,
This is the Barely J Show.
Okay.
yeah, we're doing it.
So, all right, that's interesting. So I was talking about ley lines.
And then everything went to shit.
They are, in the older sense, ancient, straight trackways in the British landscape, or in the newer sense, spiritual and mystical alignments of landforms.
Okay. Oh, now my camera has delay, by the way.
No, that's fine. Look, I can deal with that.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to
Save your emails, everyone.
The phrase was coined in 1921 by the amateur archaeologist Alfred Watkins, referring to supposed alignments of numerous places of geographical and historical interest, such as ancient monuments and megaliths.
Ooh.
Natural whatever, blah, 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 blah. I want to hear about the, spiritual stuff. New Age endorsement. Here we go. 1969. That's a very spiritual hippie year. The British author John Mitchell, who had previously written on the subject of UFOs, published The View Over Atlantis, in which he revived Watkins' key ley line theories and linked them with the Chinese concept of Feng Shui. The book, published by Sego, whatever, who cares, proved popular and was reprinted in Great Britain by Garnstone Press in 1972. I still don't know what they are.
Anyway, I think it's pretty simple. There are lines on the Earth where certain monoliths all line up on the planet. They're all on the same latitude.
Okay.
So anyway, this church is on one of them. Theoretically.
Here you go, everybody. There's some ley lines.
But that's kind of chaotic, aren't they? Wouldn't anything fall on those lines? Anyway, I don't know.
No, here's the one cut. See this one right here?
Uh-huh.
That's the one cutting through Poughkeepsie.
Oh, weird. You're right, because I remember Joe Netherworld, our friend, the magistrate, straight for the Church of Satan, mentioned that Poughkeepsie's on a ley line, and Poughkeepsie's really weird. There's all these crows, and there was I don't know how true the tale is, but there's a tale that the sycamore tree roots were in the water, and the people drank the water and died, and it was kind of cursed because they were really bad to the indigenous people that were there before. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you people on the watching the thing, if you can see where Florida is, which it looks like there's one cutting through Tampa, maybe.
That's possible. There's a lot of swamp ape, and we have a swamp ape here, theoretically.
So the Bermuda Triangle has a bunch. Then there's one really big one in the southwest, like a convergence, you see?
What's West Virginia look like? Because West Virginia's a real weird one.
Let's see. Can I zoom in without it getting all distorted?
No.
There's a star here. It's a shitty map.
It's not great.
Shitty walk.
Well, yeah, ley lines, I've always, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. I find it interesting. I don't know how much there is to it. Okay, for one, I'm not super impressed with the theory of Atlantis. The mythical city that is under the water that there's zero proof of. I've never found that particularly interesting. I just never. And the people who I've known to be really into Atlantis were usually super flakes. They're just really emotional, fragile, new age people. And I'm just yeah.
Right.
I'm not interested in that. But again, I try not to poo-poo things.
I imagine Atlantis is like the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
where
It doesn't. It's wrong.
no, the Bible you're saying has some things that a lot of people believe is actually based on some sort of history.
Yeah, I think it's a really crude
like a
historic record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a telephone game historical record. So there must, and a lot of other cultures, I believe, refer to like a flood and all this stuff.
right.
So my guess is there was some city that got tsunami'd or something, or got flooded or
Yeah, I mean that's
There's no
possible.
evidence. I thought they found some stuff underwater somewhere.
I don't know. I don't
But
think.
that's not crazy. I mean,
don't
stuff-
think. Well, yeah,
water levels change all the time.
there could be civilizations, but I think the theory is Atlantis was like magic people or something. I don't know though. And again, I try not to poo-poo things. Sometimes facts are stranger than fiction. Weird things happen, but I've just never found it particularly compelling. I just never found it. I always think of people like what's her name? The actress Shirley MacLaine. I feel like she would be really into Atlantis, and I think of her as being a little cuckoo.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be okay though. I mean, everything's fine.
I'm gonna be all right. We already talked about the rake. We got into it with the rake and the Dover demon.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty spooky stuff. I kind of scratched the surface on the Owlman. I don't know a lot about the Owlman other than people say it looks like an owl, but it's like giant. And the Mothman was also a flying cryptid that was like super giant and was really interested in human reproduction and stuff. So I don't know. But a lot of teenage girls report the Owlman in the UK. And like the flying cryptid thing isn't new. I mean, these people have been seeing it for just years and years and years.
Yeah, here's a video. Let's see if this comes through. There's a guy with a beard.
Well, he knows what he's doing. Look at that beard.
Beards.
I don't have that many hair follicles on my scalp. How is that his face?
Ooh, I got a pimple coming in on my nose.
Oh, good.
So this is the horizon. This is a NASA feed, 24/7 feed.
Okay.
And you see the little foreign object that's moving. See where my mouth?
Yeah.
pointer?
Yeah.
It's moving. You can tell if you put your finger there, it's actually moving slightly.
I see it. It looks like it's moving.
Right. So that was approaching. This is the NASA camera.
That's NASA playing the violin, by the way.
Yeah. It's getting closer.
What's their explanation?
Well, this is the thing that happened next. Then NASA went to this feed.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Yeah, and this is just a replay now. NASA claims sometimes that just happens because the feed doesn't work.
Well, then they should have just not even reacted.
Well, I think somebody asked or whatever.
No, they shouldn't have cut the feed.
But now, that could be a satellite, that could be the moon, like, I don't know.
It could be space debris. There's plenty of explanations for it. My point is they shouldn't have cut away from it because then they could...
Well, they're saying they didn't cut away from it, just sometimes there's the feed doesn't work well because it's from space.
Okay, that might be true. Who knows?
Yeah, the enthusiast did not, an enthusiast, that watches this channel, did not imply that the object was an alien spacecraft. He said this could well be a meteor or the like, but he implied that the camera being turned off was slightly sinister.
Yeah.
That's what made it interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's that story.
What's the guy with the beard selling?
Oh.
Really? Again? How
Yeah.
long has that been happening?
Well, I don't know.
We
because-
weren't even on us, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we gotta obviously when I switch to the other camera, this is so professional.
I know. We're really knocking it out of the park today.
Well, that works when I do that. Okay, that's good.
So we're just gonna have to do that every time?
No, I'll figure it out. You know how it is. There's always hiccups. There's always hiccups, Bailey.
Thanks, Matt.
Hiccups, Bailey.
Now there's 2 U's.
Do use.
2 U's. Okay.
All right. So I hope everybody's seeing this properly. Who knows? Maybe even it didn't go out on their end. It's just the way the monitor or something.
We'll just have to do the show again tomorrow, if that's the case. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do we have any more email? Do people email? Do people,
Yeah, we got a whole bunch
people
of
still
stuff.
love us? People see spooky things happening to people?
Yeah, we have emails. I have more show notes. We got the whole gamut.
And again, the email. What's the email for the show?
It's right there on the screen. It is BaileyJShow@gmail.com.
So make sure to go there if you want to lecture me about smoking cigarettes, because I don't know that they cause cancer. You can just send your emails there and let me know about the health risks that are involved with smoking cigarettes, because I don't know that. Thank you.
Let's see. This is from Tyrant, an email, Interdimensional Beings. Hello again, Matt and Bailey.
Oh, me too. Okay. That's good.
I thought you would be interested in this theory. So I was over at a friend's house, and his roommate was watching some video about interdimensional beings and black matter or antimatter. Currently, some scientists are studying black matter and possessions. The theory is that us living in this plane of existence, when we experience negative emotions, we create negative energy or black matter, and these interdimensional beings are attracted to it. They need it or feed off of it. The more we make within ourselves, the more they are attracted to us and at some point cause a possession. The scientists were also trying to force possessions to happen with drugs and some sort of energy waves. I didn't see much due to the fact I was leaving at the time, but I still kind of think it's interesting. Wish I knew more, but what do you think about it? Have you ever heard of anything like this before?
I actually have.
Tyrant.
I actually have heard that before. Just the theory that these interdimensional beings feed on negative vibes and like negative energy, and they a person we know actually, he's actually his mom's famous, Roseanne Barr's son, Jake Pentland, actually mentioned once on the show that he and it was documented on the reality show they had for a minute, Roseanne's Nuts, and that there was a negative entity in the Hawaiian museum that his mother had bought, and it's understood that place is haunted from the locals, and because the person who originally worked there was a grave robber or something, and was getting some of the artifacts like in unsavory ways, and so the place had like really bad vibes. So then he goes there as kind of like oh boy, this is stupid, and then actually ends up having a really scary experience, and says that he just felt this like overwhelming feeling of terror or dread, kind of like the feeling you get when you wake up from a nightmare.
Right.
And that's a feeling I've heard a lot when people come across interdimensional beings. They say it's just this overwhelming fear. Even people who witnessed the Mothman said it was almost, even though they were looking at a giant 8-foot tall winged man with red eyes, they said it was like an exuberant amount of fear. Like it was almost, they couldn't even understand how much fear they were feeling.
Yeah.
And I think so. There's a theory that these beings kind of incite that fear and siphon that fear. I don't know if that's the case, but it's definitely a theory that I've heard a lot. But yeah, so I don't really like the idea that people feeling negative feelings attracts negative beings. I think sometimes that could actually be counterproductive for some people, especially people with like mental problems and stuff. Like kind of like how The Secret, remember we were like watching The Secret and stuff, that really messed with my OCD, if anything. Like I was just like, oh, I can't have bad thoughts because then bad things are going to happen. That's like literally the fear of having obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
Is that your fearful thoughts are going to cause things to, so some of that stuff is actually kind of to tote it as like it is a definite truth is kind of irresponsible in some ways, because like I said, like The Secret totally messed with my OCD. But yeah, I don't know. And even Maria Bamford talks a lot about that, whose show Lady Dynamite is hilarious and amazing, but she even talks about just people who are like, you know why you're sad? You're sad because this, and it's like somehow her fault that she's sad, and it's like spiritual people are kind of like that about it, and she's just like, oh my god, you're terrible.
Right.
Like, go away. So I don't know, but yeah,
I'll say what I think in a second. I just realized I should say this to people listening to the podcast right now that haven't figured out the YouTubes. You can watch us, and it's easy. You go to the internet browser, even on your phone, and it's it's youtube.com/C, and then another slash, and then Bailey Show. So it's youtube.com/C/Bailey Show. No space.
Catchy.
Yeah, and that will bring up the YouTube that we have, and this episode you're listening to right now, you can watch it, and it should sound the same.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I definitely think that people can pull inspiration, which is they say spirit, through meditation and whatnot, and just being in the zone. And so you could play a tennis game better, or you can write a great song when you just let yourself go into this place of peace and quiet. And then, you know, I've done it even when I can't think of something. If I forget something, I'll just like shut it all down and wait, and then things will come to me. And if I'm being negative, it's almost like possession, where I can't stop thinking, and then I'm being crushed by awful, oh shit, it happened again, energy. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out next time. But for now, I just keep doing this. Oh no, that doesn't want to work. And yeah, I think it's
The guy with the beard. Damn it.
back to the beard guy. Anytime our video feed goes out, you're gonna have to look at this beard.
Just look at his glorious beard.
And then Bailey, you gotta keep it going while I fix this.
Keep it. I got nothing to work off of. Because it's anyway. Things.
Talk about. Wow.
No.
Cray.
Is our audio still going?
Yeah, we're still recording all this, but the Star Trek is dead.
Okay.
Crazy.
This show is haunted.
I've been. I just want to say this. I've been working on this all day, and I've had this Star Trek running in the background, and I've had the video feed up for hours, and nothing happened like this. Very strange.
Ghosts.
So I will delete this. Yes, I will delete this. Yes, and then I will.
We should just call this episode Technical Difficulties Palooza.
Okay, good. That's going to be in a second. And that is you.
That's me. I'm back.
Okay, that should be. I wonder how exciting this is for everybody.
I don't know. Probably not.
And then I'm going to call this M because that's my initial. And I am video capture device 2, right? Boom.
Okay. We're back in business.
All right.
Okay. I have to be careful because I'm wearing a skirt and I'm not wearing underwear. So I'm trying to be mindful of my testicles. Per usual. You know?
Yeah, and so it's interesting now to hear a scientific dark... I've always heard about dark matter and antimatter, and I never... You know, I never quite understood what that meant, because there's matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's matter. And then I guess, like I always talk about balance, and you know, everything that has an action has an opposite and equal reaction.
Okay.
So I suppose there's antimatter, right? Which makes sense in terms of just the opposite of matter.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense, because like, well, what does that mean? But that's the thing. It could mean
We don't know what it
some
could
sort
mean.
of like energy, like a negative. But even negative energy, no, that's not matter. But it feels like it is, because it takes up space in some way you could register. You can.
Right.
I just find the whole thing interesting that, like, you know, everything you can see and taste and with the five senses is very considered, you know, scientific and legit.
Right.
And then you talk about, you know, inspiration.
Well, and that's when we start getting into materialistic Western science, where there's so much science that's not based on what you can see. There's a whole microscopic world out there, but now we have machines to see it, and so now it exists.
Yeah, and there's lots of weird shit. Like I hate to quote Ancient Aliens, but they were doing an episode. They keep talking about like these geniuses. Like they were talking about Einstein. I don't know if it was Ancient Aliens, but basically like the shit he came up with, the really big shit. He did most of it in a year.
Right.
And it was just like, it just blew up everything. Like, no, and you know, and this has happened a few times throughout human history where these people just suddenly get this like boosh of knowledge.
Right.
And like the gravity, the theory of relativity, all that shit. Like everything, all the rules got fucked because of that.
Right.
And, you know, his brain was different, and it's just very unusual.
Well, yeah,
he was also a spiritual like dude. So, you know, you always hear later on about these people that had great ideas that they would like tap into these meditative states and stuff.
I mean, yeah, Aleister Crowley's a great example of that, where he would get in altered states and he would channel, and he would I forget the name of the being. It was like Lamb or it was something, but he drew this being that he was channeling. And like a big bulbous head, actually kind of looked like a gray. It was pretty interesting.
Well, Steve Jobs too, who, I mean, arguably the iPhone is one of the most important inventions for society in the last ever.
Yeah, and the only book I guess that he had on his iPad was the autobiography of a yogi.
Yeah. Hey, boo boo.
Oh, yeah, it's written by Yogi Bear. Actually.
Hey boo 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 boo. Hey boo boo.
That's solid.
Hey boo boo.
No, that's the ghost of Yogi Bear. That was stressful.
Hey boo boo. Boo boo.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Okay, we have another email. This is from Alan Shadow Figures.
Okay.
This is sent on July 15th, 2016 at 4:25 p.m. And again, you can send your emails to baileyjshow@gmail.com. And I do actually really appreciate them. Bailey, do you appreciate them?
I freaking love them. I'm like obsessed.
When I get an email now, like bloop, a number appears, I click it, and I'm always hoping it's from to this email account. And then I click this email account, and if it's from a listener, watcher, and it's something like this, something like that. Hey guys, I just started listening to your show with the Shadow Figures episode. I've been a fan of Bailey's since the Amy Schumer episode, and her Twitter content is unbeatable.
Oh, that's great.
Matt, I've stolen several quotes from you. The, open quote, she's an old soul, and I pick my nose line specifically. You guys are great. I live in Tampa, and I've had these experiences off and on since I was 18. I'm 24 now. Most of them are in the corners of my eyes. When I was in college, every now and again I'd see a black, oily slime following me on the walls. When I'd stop to look, it wouldn't be there. Later it would be. During summer break, I was on the phone standing outside, and I saw what looked like large spiders, like Harry Potter at COS big. What's COS?
I don't know, but I mean, I have good deduction skills. Just giant spiders.
What's the school name? COS, Church of Scientology? No. Spiders made of human limbs, wow, skittering across the street at a distance?
Whoa.
Wow. That summer, same summer, I saw a shadow person standing at the end of my street, getting out of my car on one occasion, trying to crawl into my trunk on another, which was weird because, that's weird already, you don't need a because I thought it was a real person, and as I called out to it, it vanished. Another time, that same summer, I was asleep in the living room, and a family walked in and saw kids' toys wheeling around on their own. Since then, I've gotten a static-filled phone call from an unregistered number that just had a whispering voice say, "Help me," over and over, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Whoa.
Thanks for taking our emails about our spooky experiences.
Well, the phone call thing's a recurring thing as well.
Alan Grab.
Thank you, Alan. That's really sweet. The phone call thing, I mean, John Keel has so much information on the weird phone calls people get, like just weird voices listing numbers, weird voices speaking what kind of sounds like Spanish but like sped up and weird, and just someone gets a phone call, two women are talking, and all of a sudden a man's voice gets on the line and says, "Wake up down there," like in this big voice, and then the women are like really freaked out and like offended also, and like what, and then they hang up, and then they call each other the next day and they're talking, and again the man's voice is "Wake up down there," on the phone with them talking.
Wow.
Yeah, just is really, and
Wow.
that stuff creeps me out more than anything. Like, if I hear about a giant 8-foot tall monster, I'm like, oh, that's scary. But when I hear about I think I can wrap my head around that more, so it's just creepier. But yeah, so that's interesting. He's had a lot of experiences with shadow figures, and he lives in Tampa.
Yeah. Can you stop talking for 1 second?
Sure.
Not in like a shut up way. Okay, I think we're good.
But yeah, okay. Shadow figures, shadows.
Yeah, continue.
That's all I got.
I thought maybe this, because I redid the cameras, I thought it was recording audio from the cameras instead of the mixer.
Okay. That would make sense.
But continue talking.
That's kind of all I had, just on shadow figures. Just, yeah, a lot of people experience shadow figures. I mean, like I said on another episode, Art Bell just mentioned it in passing, like, or got one call about shadow figures, and like, that's interesting, and they kind of touched on it, and then since then, it was just like the shadow figure show. Just everybody had a shadow figure story.
What about these large spiders with human limbs skittering across the street?
I have no idea. I have no context for that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they saw a man climbing into his car, or shadow.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to just gloss over that, like, wow, shadow in the car, boo, but it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, that's compelling stuff. And I'm sure if you Google it, there's other people with similar experiences. Like, shadow figures are a phenomenon that a lot of people experience.
Here's an email from Vinay Arya.
Okay.
Subject is proven design expertise. Hi, I am Vinati. I am an online web design business expert in New Delhi. I work with experienced IT professionals dedicated into website designing, web development. I would be
The screen turned off because you're being racist.
I would be happy to send to you details of the company, past work details, references, pricing, and packages. Sweet regards, Vinay Arya, online web development, New Delhi, India.
Hey, I think that wasn't paranormal at all. They're just trying to sell us things.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Me either.
Well, this is gonna be a thing that I gotta make a fix.
Yeah, what the hell? This show's haunted.
Haunted?
Haunted. I'm talking to Spirit.
Why don't you do some spirit talk while I set up the camera?
I got nothing to say. What did she talk? What is Teresa? I haven't watched the show in a long time. Teresa Caputo, Long Island Medium. Used to watch the show a lot. Then I got really turned off by the whole thing. I found her really compelling and interesting, and like her personality was really cute because she had that like whole Long Island thing, that's like body Long Island, like her hawk nails, and I mean you've seen her, everyone's seen her, but she I was turned off because I started reading her second book, and in the second book she starts talking about like, she says something like, you feel spirit all the time, and she's like, if you're a woman and you're sleeping around a lot with other men and you get that inkling in your gut like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, that's your past loved ones. And I was just like so offended by that. I was like, only if you're a woman? And what? Like, it was just so offensive and weird. And like little things, like she'd say, oh, Spirit says that they're really proud of you for serving the country, and I'm like, Spirit is a Republican? Like I didn't understand. It was very weird. I mean, not that I'm not proud of people who give their life for what they think they're doing. I mean, that's great, but it's yeah, it was just really weird. Her politics started bleeding in, and I think psychics and mediums have a hard time drawing the line where their shit is and where like actual spiritual stuff is happening. But yeah, so I got really turned off by her. And then also who's that gay guy that does that late night show who's like kind of a daddy on Bravo?
I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
He's so hot. What's his name? Anyway, he does that like little clubhouse show. I can't believe someone's probably screaming his name at their like iPhone right now.
Before you even said the sentence, I knew who you were talking about. I just can't.
Yeah. Anyway, I adore him. He got a reading from the Long Island Medium, and in his book, he even said like, yes, she sucked, and she actually apologized and like said, we can do this again.
Andy Cohen. Yeah,
he was like, she like was apologizing, saying we can try again another day, but like, she had like no information. What happened to that now?
That also crashed.
That's cool.
Keep talking to her.
I'm working on it. I'm talking. Jeez Louise.
I'm handling all
Everything's
the tech stuff.
crumbling around me as I'm talking.
The best thing to do would be for you to just keep talking while I fix things.
Well, let me work on that. I'll just try to keep talking then. But anyway, so he said that she kind of blew and she wasn't that good. And she admitted that she wasn't that good and apologized. But also, wasn't she supposed to do Howard Stern? Like, Howard was going to have her on, but to do readings on the air, but the only way she would do the readings was if she got 3 hours or 45 minutes with the people before doing it or something. It was like weird. There was some sort of weird stipulation.
I don't know.
I mean, clearly she has a gift. I think it's just, I don't know. And I've talked to enough mediums, know most of them are just they like kind of have a gift, but they're stretching that like kind of gift they have, and it sucks. Sorry, I was drinking water. Because I mean, I have like little psychic moments, but I'm not going to charge people to do. Like I would have to fake it like 60% of the time.
Okay, you're back.
That's good. It's a serious delay, but what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Just change my name to Tom Delay. You know what I mean? Man. Help me.
Look at all this crap I put up with.
You put up with so much crap.
Hello. Mine's nice and good.
Mine is not.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
People can still see your cleavage and face and stuff, so that's good.
I'm covering my cleavage with my hair.
Don't cover. Release.
I just don't want to have a nip slip because the whole episode is useless.
It's already useless.
Anyway, okay.
All right, so we're 45 minutes in.
I mean, granted, 15 minutes of it has been correcting technical difficulties.
I don't think it matters.
Nothing matters. But yeah, I always try to be careful with like when people try to explain paranormal things by just like so matter of factly. Like remember Sylvia Brown, the psychic that was always on Montel, and she would just be very matter of fact about stuff. She'd be like, "Oh, yep, your son's dead," and just like just she would, and then the son would get found, and it was just like, she was so just smug about it that you wanted her to be wrong, and of course she was a lot of the time, and I think she had a gift. But a lot of the time, I just remember being really turned off by her and just being like, "How you're being so irresponsible." It's yeah, I don't like that. And also, I think people who do have like issues, like neurotics and stuff, like people recovering from religious upbringings, like there's certain shit that they don't want to be a thing. And so I feel like sometimes psychics are irresponsible. Also, they're really like even everyone's like really bad at washing away the Christianity before getting into other things. I always said atheism is such a good palate cleanser in between courses in life. And like, I just feel people get so moralistic and so Catholic, even when they're being like, even if you're an atheist, SJW, queer, radical, they're like so Catholic about it. So it's just people don't wash the Catholicism or the Christianity or the Christian mindset off themselves before engaging in new areas of life, and I think it's just like really detrimental. Personally, it's just how I feel.
No, I agree with that completely. That I think it's important to become atheist before you try something new. And
if you see an image of Baphomet, you see the two arms, one's up, one's down, the breast and the penis, and it says Salve and Coagula, which is Latin, I believe, probably Salve and Coagula. And salve literally means to dissolve, and coagula means to recoagulate. And so what you hear is that it's literally telling people, like, dissolve yourself, dissolve all your conditioned thinking, dissolve your Christian upbringing, or your Jewish upbringing, or whatever upbringing that you think isn't working for your highest good. And so kind of just dissolve everything, all the things you think about other people, your judgments, your moralism, everything you think is you is tainted by society and tainted by stuff that isn't you. So dissolve all of it and then build yourself back up from what you know to be true within you. And so that's kind of an approach. That's where I'm at least in my life, where I'm kind of like in the tarot. It's called the Tower, where it's just dissolve, destroy, like healthy destruction, and then
it's kind of like being single before you get back into a relationship.
Yeah, totally. You need that. You need that space, and then you rebuild yourself, and it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes, if you will.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Speaking of thanks, I'd like to take this time to thank our loyal listeners for donating to The Bailey J Show, which you do by going to baileyjshow.com and clicking the support link on the right side. That will take you to PayPal, and you can send $1 or $2, $20. You can do monthly, you can do not monthly. You can do $80,000 if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
I imagine there'd be some sort of like, are you sure, if you click that. But hell, if you're listening to this and you're, a dozen millionaire, let's say you have $12 million and you're kind of like, what do I do? Some options would be to contact us at baileyjshow@gmail.com and produce this as a television show.
You should give us all your money.
Yeah, or just send like $80,000 to Bailey.
Cigarettes aren't cheap, and neither is an iron lung.
You'll get a producer credit. And for $80,000, you get to meet Bailey as well, and you can be in an episode of the show. You can sit right over there.
Who just jack off in the corner?
Yeah. But you have to have your back to the camera, like in the Blair Witch.
Oh yeah.
So Luna M is continuing to donate weekly.
Love Luna. She's the best.
Thank you. Seriously. A new person. I want to say the whole name, and I'm gonna. It's Christine Cream, both with a K.
No way.
Yeah.
That can't be their real
name. She
name.
gave a one-time sizable donation.
That's how I like them.
Stephen
sizable.
R. is monthly on a very nice plan.
Thank you, Steve.
Stephen B. is continuing his $8.88 per month, which we are very appreciative of.
Thank you also, Stephen.
I mean, that's really nice. It's like, that's Netflix. He's given us Netflix value.
We got Netflix money.
Now, Jeff O. just straight up canceled his, and Anselmo H, now you've missed 3 payments. There's something wrong with your card, so you've been suspended.
Everyone hates us.
Anselmo H, suspended.
Oh, poor Anselmo.
So I think it's not gonna harass you anymore because it's tried 3 times. So that is, that happens too. I guess some people run out of money or they just don't like the show anymore.
Just gave us all of our money and now they're a hobo on the street.
But definitely more people have been donating since we've been putting more effort, and I like the appreciation.
Me too. I enjoy appreciation. I'm an approval addict.
In the next couple of weeks, actually I believe this Sunday, our app is being submitted to the App Store. So that will then be on your phone, the Bailey J Show app, which you'll probably be able to watch the video through, and that will also coincide with the premium thing, which we have to figure out still what that's going to be about. But yeah, you can also just go to BaileyJShow.com and click the Amazon link or the GameFly link. Those are two other sponsors we have. And there's also playboy.tv/Bailey. Just go to playboy.tv/Bailey and you don't enter your credit card and you get 1 week free of their content. And then if you decide you don't like it, boom, you leave and they don't charge you anything. But if you do like it, you stay on and they ask you, do you want it? I think it's not an automatic charge. I think they do. And then, Bailey, what do you have? Any sponsors for you?
I do. The Bailey J Show is brought to you by tweakedaudio.com. That's tweakedaudio.com. TWEAKED audio.com. They have earbuds, and they come in a multitude of different colors like green and red and blue and wood. Wood is a color. Wood. And so they're cool, and you can wad them up and shove them in your pocket, and they don't get tangled like those shitty ones that came with your smartphone that suck. So get them and put them in your ear holes. And if you enter discount code Bailey, BAILEY, you'll get 33% off of your purchase. And shipping is always free, babies.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely don't shove them in your pussy.
Pussy. This show is brought to you by Pussy.
Okay, so there's a really long story.
Good. CIA. I love really. Oh no! Come on.
Video feed down. Video feed down. Down.
This show is the worst.
Down. Oh, video feed is down. Doesn't anybody remember? This time it's working better. Doesn't anybody remember left? Come on.
That is insult to injury, my friend.
Let's get it up. Come on.
Pussy is gonna pull out their sponsorship of the show.
Now you're synced a little better?
Yeah, I am.
Doesn't anybody remember left? Okay. Let's save the podcast as well. Look at all the shit I'm doing.
You're just doing too much, Matt.
I'm a DJ.
You're a martyr.
I need an air horn. Okay, this is a lot of talking. It's about the CIA has a team of clairvoyants. That's pretty much all you need to know.
That's cool.
In 1994, the CIA's Directorate
Of course.
of Intelligence commissioned the Political Instability Task Force, also known as the PITF, formerly known as the State Failure Task Force, which would be SFTF. I guess PITF is better than SFTF.
It's pretty catchy.
A clairvoyant-esque squad of social scientist brainiacs charged with churning global political data into global instability forecasts.
Ooh.
The creation of the PITF began at end of the Cold War. They forgot the there.
Way to go.
Began at end of the Cold War. The PITF mission is straightforward. Make intelligence analysis as holistic as possible and locate where the next crisis might be and why. The collapse of the Soviet Union completely caught the government off guard, blah, blah, blah. The intelligence community was looking for blah, blah, blah. To meet this task, the team recruited from American academia and included leading political scientists. That's not a sentence either. Sociologists and methodologists. In the beginning, they focused on variables as broad as environmental degradation and social conflict. The focus later shifted to cover 4 main topics. Revolutionary... Wow, see, this goes on for days.
People like typing. People like it.
Yeah, I hate writing. Like, for instance, if someone wanted me to write an article about the CIA has a team of clairvoyants, the opening sentence that this person chose was... If the CIA had a crystal ball, then they would probably not be routinely blindsided by world events. I guess that's not so bad. But I wouldn't write that.
I have a crystal ball. I don't know how to use it, though.
It's in the kitchen. I see it all the time.
Yeah, it is in the kitchen.
I have an urge to throw it.
I get that. It's because it's a really heavy... Like, you could put a huge hole in the floor. It's a natural urge, I think.
Maybe it's like demonic and it wants me to break it. No, that would be the opposite.
You're gonna free the demon.
Like that movie. What's that movie where the mirror doesn't want to get broken?
Oculus?
Oculus.
Mm. Killing it.
We're meditating now. Everybody, we're now doing a 1-minute meditation. I do have a song I'm gonna play because it's from YouTube. This is pretty cool. It's a guy. He's kind of hip and kind of attractive. So men, you're gonna be bothered by him. But I thought this was pretty great. Oh, but an arrow.
Not good. Could it? Maybe. Does he have a super beard?
What?
Oh my god.
There we go. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind waking up in the bad part of Brooklyn in his Dinosaur Jr. t-shirt, if you know what I mean.
This could totally be music for an Oscar movie.
Oh, totally. No, this is cool as shit. That's actually a UFO that he's
Oh yeah,
landed on.
I didn't realize.
There's aliens in there. They're very upset. No.
Don't you tell me to go, baby, I love you in the morning times. Don't you tell me to go, baby. I should send that to him.
You should.
This is a hand pan.
Hand pan.
Pretty cool.
That was really cool.
He's a sweet boy.
Well, that's just great.
And that would be an hour.
I guess we're done. I'm still trying to make sure my balls don't show.
Balls don't show. Balls don't show balls. Show balls.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the show. You can follow my Twitter at Bailey J Tweets. You can follow me on Snapchat and send me your D at Bailey Snaps Yay. And I'm still on Instagram technically. Beetle Bailey 88 with 2 E's. What about you, Matt?
I am Old York Matt on everything. Vine, Instagram, Tweeters, Periscope, and the YouTube for this show again is it's youtube.com/C/Bailey Show.
That's
It's the letter C. Is there? I guess as opposed to the word C, which would be stupid. youtube.com/C/Bailey Show. And this episode will be number 219. I don't know yet what it's called. I might call it Show Balls. But I've been calling everything more of a serious title lately, like, paranormal related. So, let me just double check that we don't have any other emails and that you have nothing else you want to talk about. You good?
Don't.
Don't,
Noah. I'm tired,
Yeah, that one from Australia we already had.
Okay, so we're good. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
This was the Bailey J Show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
This was the Bailey J Show. Get ready for the best 90 minutes of your week. This was the Bailey J. Show.
Listen here, you little chicken neck maggots. I generally don't exaggerate, and there's not much hyperbole here. Prepare to die. I mean, here come robots that kill you better than a hammer. And they're going to put nanotech in the food most people already have in their brains.